Minnesota Timberwolves center, as well as former Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert, was very critical of the New York Knicks and their use of one player on their roster. We're going to break down the report and see exactly who Rudy is talking about. We're also going to look at an NBA Insider's recent report as they indicate that Jalen Brunson, once he's eligible, will seek a max extension with the New York Knicks. We're going to break down all of this and so much more today. Let's get started. Rudy Gobert was actually very critical of the New York Knicks and their use of one player on their roster. And if you can't guess who that player is, it's his former Team France teammate, Evan Fournier, who he believes the New York Knicks are disrespecting by playing him the way they have been. Look at this interview that he did with Stefan Bondy of the New York Post. According to Steph Bondy, he stated that the Minnesota Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert is critical of the New York Knicks over their treatment of Evan Fournier, calling the situation disrespectful as the 30-year-old shooting guard is a long shot to make the team's 2023-2024 rotation. This is what he said exactly. I think he can contribute and help out a lot of teams. I think everybody knows it. But it's kind of weird when you end up on the bench and you don't really know why. Sometimes you can be stuck in a situation. I know he's going to have an opportunity again, and everybody will understand that he can help and win, and do it at a high level, and do it every night. Now, clearly you can see these two have a bond, they're friends, and they have an admiration and respect for one another. That's exactly why he said what he said about him. Not only that, but he saw him play with Team France earlier this summer, and clearly he knows Evan Fournier can ball. And we all know if you watch Evan Fournier, he can shoot the three very well when he's open, but he needs to play in the right offense and the right system. The problem with Evan Fournier is he doesn't fit every system, especially not a system run by Tom Thibodeau. He looks for everybody who's playing for him to give him defense first and then offense. A lot of the time, depending on who you are. If you're an all-star player, you might be exempt some of the time. But mostly, if you're playing for Tom Thibodeau, you need to have that defensive intensity part of your game. And really, because he can only help the New York Knicks with shooting, you have to look at everything in totality and understand why Tom Thibodeau is not playing him. It's also because Tom Thibodeau does not like the defensive effort that Evan Fournier gives you when he's out there. Unfortunately, he's a turnstile. Every time he's out there, no matter how much he gives you on offense, he returns it back on defense because he doesn't play defense at a high enough level for Tom Thibodeau to justify keeping him out there for significant minutes. He's going to get beat a lot. He hits people on the hands a lot. He makes silly fouls a lot. It's just not somebody or something you need in the game if you're Tom Thibodeau. So while I understand Rudy Gobert and what he's saying about Evan Fournier and the disrespect, I also understand why Tom Thibodeau doesn't want to play Evan Fournier heavy minutes. The Knicks actually did better as a unit when Evan Fournier was not part of the lineup. So we have to mention that side of it as well too. It's not just Tom Thibodeau didn't use him, kept him on the bench and left him alone. No, Tom Thibodeau did use him. But he found out, like we all did, that in terms of his defense, it was porous. And in terms of his offense, it didn't make sense to keep somebody out there when they were just only good on offense. And when I mean good, they weren't amazing by any stretch of the means. They were basically okay on offense and nothing on defense. So because of that, because of the roster that the New York Knicks have, because of the young players the Knicks have that can shoot almost just as well as Evan Fournier can, but can give you way better defense, you have to understand where Tom Thibodeau is coming from here. If I was him and I was the coach, I absolutely would have benched Evan Fournier as well too and not given him that many minutes. And I would have done exactly what Tom Thibodeau did and give the bulk of the minutes to the players that were on the team last year. I would have absolutely did that and definitely refused to give Evan Fournier some minutes because I don't think he would have helped the roster. That's just my judgment based on how I saw him play with the starters and the bench unit last year. But if I'm a GM and I want to increase his value, I'll find some type of minutes for him so that way I can trade him for something down the road versus nothing right now. But for all the reasons I just told you, I don't believe we're going to see Evan Fournier play significant minutes for the New York Knicks. Not now, not during the regular season, and I guarantee not for the rest of the time he's a New York Knick. Jalen Brunson is set to seek a max deal once he's eligible to get one. Now, this is not anything new if you've been following the Jalen Brunson situation. He's been playing so good that the contract that the New York Knicks gave him looks like a steal, a bargain at this point in time. Everybody around the league knows it. I know it, and definitely Jalen Brunson knows it as well too. But according to an NBA insider, the New York Knicks better prepare themselves to pay Jalen Brunson the max because Julius Randle took a little bit less money for the Knicks to help the Knicks out. I guarantee Jalen Brunson will not be following that same technique. According to Bleacher Report's Greg Schwartz, he states that Jalen Brunson will absolutely seek a max contract with the New York Knicks. Greg Schwartz states the following. So you got 2 more years with him. Then he's got a player option. He ain't picking up that player option. He's going to go for the max. I think he's worth it. So prepare yourself to pay Jalen Brunson a max contract. To be honest, as soon as I saw him play last year, as soon as I saw the playoffs, as soon as I saw his footwork and everything he can do, I actually made peace and reserved my peace for the fact that the New York Knicks are absolutely going to pay this man a max contract. If this trajectory that Jalen Brunson is on continues to skyrocket and go upward, not only will Jalen Brunson be worth it, he will absolutely deserve it. And if he continues to showcase his elite footwork and what he can do with the ball each and every game for this New York Knicks team this season and takes them back to the playoffs and maybe, let's say, by some magic, gets the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals, Jalen Brunson will be regarded as one of the best Knicks in franchise history. But not only that, because of what he's been doing, he's going to get that max deal with the New York Knicks. Nobody's going to hate on him for it. Nobody's going to question it. Nobody's going to doubt it. Nobody's going to say anything about it. They're going to say, Jalen, you're amazing. Jalen, you're awesome. Jalen, I understand why you're getting this contract, why you're getting this money. You absolutely deserve it. You're entering your prime, and you're going to be one of the best players for the New York Knicks for years to come. I'm not mad at this report. I'm not surprised at this report. I'm not even shocked by it. If anything, it's music to my ears because it tells me that we're going to have great, amazing, potentially soon, all-star level point guard play from Jalen Brunson, not only for this season, but from years to come. And if that doesn't make you happy as a New York Knicks fan, I don't know what else will, because that is not only an expectation that he's going to get a max deal. It's something that Knicks fans should welcome and be happy about because it helps continue to give us stability at the point guard position. But let me know what you guys think. Would you give Jalen Brunson a max contract once he's eligible? Let me know in the comments below because honestly, guys, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please go ahead and smash that like button. Leave a comment below. But of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.